piece of shit. Mario Kart! It's a wonderful family-friendly game made by the Big N. But you already knew... Brian, what are you doing?
Well, I started in real estate and did some calculations on the property and decided this was a good buy.
So you bought my room?
I mean, since you were already starting to move out, I thought... Yeah, I bought your room.
Okay, why are you putting that poster on top of my posters?
Well, I got these gorgeous metal posters with super sexy designs from Display that you could easily mount on your wall.
Heck yeah, man.
And every poster bot plants 10 trees, which means 10 times more woods for me to frolic through.
Click the link in the description to get any display 20% off with the coupon code GARER20. There's an array of posters to choose from, designed by tons of freaking legit artists. Your purchase could help plant the forest Brian desperately needs to frolic through.
The crazy thing about Mario Kart is it's been there for numerous generations now.
I see kids playing Mario Kart 8 on Switch now, and that was me with Double Dash a few years ago.
Garrett, it's been nearly 15 years.
And that's what we're looking at this time. Mario Kart is a 25-year-old franchise where you know how this game works. I don't need to. We've gone through kindergarten. Nevertheless, this franchise has been around for a really kind of long time now, and despite us adored millennials just holding the classics near and dear to our hearts, how do they hold up today? This time around, we're actually looking at numerous games from the series, and we're going to see how each has held up compared to each other. The games are going to range all the way back from the first one, Super Mario Kart, to the Wii installment, Mario Kart Wii. You say Mario Kart Wii's too new. I say it's 10 years old. You say so am I. Dan Schneider says, hey kid, you want to be on my show?
Hey, why aren't the handheld games included in this?
Because I never own handhelds and they're not as important to me.
Well, that settles that.
At least he's honest.
Shut up, Genesis. You can talk when you play Mario Kart.
Does Road Rash count?
So let's start off with the classic, the legendary.
It's aged as well as Mark Hamill has.
Super Mario Kart.
Taking full advantage of the Super Nintendo's Mode 7, a feature Nintendo boasted to compete with Genesis's rad blast processing. It's a load of crap, it's not actually a thing. Super Mario Kart was the first of its kind with gameplay features including a lack of any law enforcement, resulting in homicide, speeding, or literally just defying gravity. There were 4 cups with 5 tracks each, and most courses were unique and different, ranging in difficulty and hazard. Some even featured roadkill, which, get this, it was backwards. This is for mowing down my sister Sharon, and this one's for hospitalizing Jared. But what is a racing game without the ability to experience burning rage in reality? Now you want to kill your sister in real life. You'll be playing battle mode IRL before you even get to the battle mode in the game.
So this was all fun and crazy stuff back in 1992, but how do we feel about this game now?
Running in the 90s! It's the new way I like to be! Oh! Running in the 90s!
Holy fart nugget! Controlling anybody in this game is a it's like hydroplaning for eternity. So drifting throws me off. Maybe if I just do a normal nope, that's worse. That's worse. It makes it worse. That's worse. Few stages actually feel designed for the kart physics. The best stage I can think of that actually agrees with the karts in any capacity is Mario Circuit at the end of Flower Cup. In fact, so many of these stages are so ridiculous that I still have yet to unlock Special Cup. And I've seen this game's Rainbow Road. I want no part in that unicorn calamity. Also, what is this garbage? So the AI have the luxury of unique items that actually ruin my ability to win, and I get none of that? Yeah, okay, yes. Bob Saget is rolling in his grave. I like how the characters turn their heads when an opponent passes, though. It's a nice touch, yeah, for 1992. So about that Mode 7, that was really cool in the 90s, wasn't it, kids?
Madness! Only on Super NES!
That was good.
So you see, Mode 7, it's the one after 6. It rhymes with 11, minus the first syllable. But really, at its core, at its essence, at its heart, it's really just an illusion. It's like...
What are you doing in Mario? In this day and age, Mode 7 really isn't that impressive anymore, especially with this game. I feel like games like F-Zero and Pilot Wings did a better job.
Everything being entirely flat in the game is pretty comical nowadays. It just feels like you're racing on paper.
I want to remind everybody, this isn't a retrospective. I'm not looking at this through like the lens of 1992 anymore. We're looking at this through the 4K lens of 2018. That's a joke. I don't have a 4K camera.
So while the game may have been impressive and certainly a new fun thing at the time, it's not nearly as impressive of a title today, but rather just an important and classic piece of video game history.
Also, this makes no sense. They make it faster.
is like slight, like micro fast. Like it makes you fast.
Also, are these stages Luke Bryan? Because they're getting pretty repetitive if you get my It's not that the stages themselves are repetitive, but plenty of them are essentially repeats with a different layout. I'm gonna assume the lack of variety is due to recycling assets as a result of tight storage space.
No. No.
So yeah, if you suck at the game, you'll never see the next course. You gotta place 4th or higher to make it to the next round, so have fun! So what about the classic, world-renowned battle mode?
Sucks. Resolution is like 5 picopixels. You can't see a darn thing.
I can't handle all this abuse.
You call this abuse? Try handling a Sega CD and a 32X and a crumbling empire all at the same time.
The most loved will be the most punished. At least that's what Garrett says.
Yeah, sorry, that doesn't work with this game.
I know I'm being pretty harsh, but it's clear that this was a first, and while very impressive and fun for the time, not so incredible or fun anymore. Tracy and I played the multiplayer together. Hey Tracy, what's your thoughts on the game? So 1997 rolls around. Toy Story's released, the 5th generation of gaming is born, and 3D is taking over, which means only one thing.
Godfishing release! Thank you, Joe Pesky! You are the gift that keeps on giving, buddy!
With 3D now possible with the Nintendo 64, Mario Kart makes its return with Mario Kart 64, which is truly really a brilliant name if you really think about it, you know, alongside other ingenious titles like Super Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Pilot Wing 64, Donkey Kong 64, Wave Race 64, Jaws 64, Sonic the Porcupine Dog 64, Baby Making Simulator 64.
Actually, fun fact, Mario Kart 64 was originally going to be called Super Mario Kart R, but they must have known they had some serious competition. I don't want to be conservative or anything, but that other game was just gonna pummel them.
This time around, they've gotten even more creative with how fast you can end up serving a life sentence in jail. Now, not only is homicide an option, but regicide too! 64 began establishing some long-lasting traditions, including 4 cups with 4 tracks each. But of all the changes and new additions in 64, the most noticeable, of course, was the fact that it was now in 3 dimensions. So in comparison to the lovely 1992 classic, how does this game hold up today?
Well, I mean, I can play it. I memean, sometimes it's even enjoyable.
Wow, this is a lot better. Controlling the carts actually feels a bit more logical, like, you know, how controlling a vehicle works. However, it does a tad bit stiff, actually, what? However, it does feel a tad bit stiff compared to the wet soap bar that is Super Mario Kart. I think they may have overcorrected a bit. But hey, it's okay because drifting now makes sense.
Remember how I said this game is sometimes enjoyable? Yeah, those keywords sometimes. I mean,
First off, the level design in this game was certainly an improvement on its predecessor. Well, kids, ever played a game of Fortnite and been shot at from every direction and been like, what on Epic Games green earth am I supposed to do? Is this it? Is Jesus taking me home? Remember Rainbow Road? The time shown here is not 3, not 2, but 1 lap of your favorite acid trip. Almost as long as falling into the abyss of Yoshi's Valley. I might get 3rd. I mean, 4th's okay. 4th. Okay, that's looking like a solid 6. You know, anything's possible. I could catch right back up. Never mind. But hey, that's okay. You could be recovering from accidentally driving into a football-sized field.
Why is this so bad?
Ladies and gentlemen, I have steered off the main road and am being punished for by an imperceptible entity arbitrarily throwing rocks at me.
Stop! What's going on? What's going on?
Rainbow Road has also been established as the ultimate, most difficult course in the game with Super Mario Kart, so you'd imagine they'd take that up a notch with 3D. You want to avoid that guy? Now, in order to get a boost start, you have to hold down the A button halfway between 2 and 1, but it doesn't matter because you just end up hitting someone in front of you, and this may be shocking to you, but that guy's actually an undercover banana.
Okay, chillax, homie. How about focus on the gameplay, home slice?
You're talking like that and you're a Nintendo game system.
That would be correct, Captain Oblivious.
It's obvious.
Huh?
It's Captain Obvious, and you're oblivious.
His brain is running about as slow as this game does.
it's maybe the most useful input you've ever had.
Drops to 20 FPS for a high-speed racing game? Listen, I'm not a frame rate vegan who will only settle for minimum 200 FPS, but nah, bro.
The sound is pretty aged too, due to obvious storage limitations. I mean, the music is still very enjoyable to this day, but that's because of the actual composition, not the audio quality. But at the end of the day, that's what's most important. Now, how about the graphics?
Old and freaking bland.
When the characters aren't actually 3D and just a flat texture, I have a hunch this game isn't too new. The draw distance, polygonal changes, and texture filtering stand out like a sore belly button. Oh wait, that's not right. However, this is less obvious when you're playing on the original Nintendo 64 on a CRT. Regardless, this exposes its pretty obvious age. Aesthetically, it's kind of bland too. It's not as vibrant as its SNES predecessor. The color palette just does not pop the same way, and it just looks flat and boring, and it just looks old.
Is there anything good about this game?
Yes, the game is definitely aged, but it's still a lot of fun. If there's a Nintendo 64 in the vicinity and Mario Kart 64 is available to play, you bet I'm gonna put it in. But it isn't my go-to if I want to play a Mario Kart Classic, but there is one on a tiny disc that was released on a cube.
It's the mid-early 2000s. Timberlake is trying to justify getting Janet naked by the end of the song, and Britney Spears is pretty toxic about it. Beyonce's crazy in love with a middle-aged man, and Norah Jones doesn't know why. And if you're 14 or younger, you probably have no clue what I'm talking about.
But besides some pretty rad top 40 hits going on, there was also some pretty rad gaming going on.
Now, while I was a 7-year-old idiot familiar with the PS2 and was blown away by the concept of online gaming when seeing my friends' big bros playing Halo 2 on Xbox.
You stink, Dark Master. My grandma drives faster than you.
You're mine, Oil Slick. We are gonna so beat you.
Me and my friends were GameCube kids. Plenty of GameCube games defined my childhood in the 00s, but there were two specifically that we put an unhealthy amount of hours into and still do. Super Smash Bros. Melee and Mario Kart Double Dash. So in 2003, Mario Kart Double Dash released to the world. With the slogan, "Team up for twice the fun," Double Dash included plenty of new features and gameplay mechanics, most notably that two people can be on one cart, which allows us tons of new possibilities like physical abuse. It's me, Chris Brown! Not only that, but double items were introduced, allowing both players to hold an item. In fact, you could do 4-player and make it 1v1 with 2 people on each cart.
Actually, if you were an extremely rich kid, then you could take it to the extreme and do land. Okay, nobody did land, but it was a pretty cool idea. Up to 16 people racing against each other? That tickles my toesies. What do you mean I can't say that?
No, don't say that again.
What do you mean I can't? No, why? Why? Why can I not? That's my signature. Shut up, that's my signature thing.
Battle mode was also expanded on greatly. Hijacking and stealing is encouraged in this game. Ever heard of nuclear holocaust?
All right, but the thing that I've been taking my sweet time to get to, has this game held up well? Yes, incredibly. Let's break it down.
Many new gameplay features were incorporated into Double Dash. Some of these new additions, for instance, made each character a special little snowflake. It kept everything simple to your stupid 4-year-old cousin, all the while making whoever you chose in the cart you picked a different experience and adding some strategy into who you pick in your playstyle. Let me explain. Each character has a new thing called a special item. Certain characters share the same special item, but often due to Donkey Kong being buff AF and Diddy being a 4th grader, the weight class is different, and as a result, so is the cart they drive. And suddenly I'm Kronk, okay. There are 3 weight classes: stupid, decent, and only reasonable choice. Heavy carts are faster, but the acceleration is slowest and the handling is heavy. Medium are all-rounders. Small carts have incredible acceleration and tight handling, but their speeds aren't too hot. But it don't matter when you can spam this around the track. Diddy Kong and Donkey Kong both have genetically modified banana as their special. But if you want a cart with better acceleration and handling, then you go for just Diddy Kong and another small character. And that's the other cool thing. I don't know why I'm still doing Kronk. You can have 2 different special items by picking 2 different characters. Unless you're these godforsaken nightmares. I also don't know why King Boo's considered heavy. He's a ghost. I don't get it.
So it's like deep but simple. If you picked it up and started playing right now, you'd pick it up real quickly.
The addition of various cart choices also adds to the depth of the game without getting too complicated. And there are simple stats that tell you what you're gonna get with those different carts.
So yeah, the game added a lot of variety for playstyle preference and strategy. But how about them tracks though?
They suck.
Double Dash envy much?
The level design is leagues ahead of 64. More interesting and creative hazards, much more variety, and it honestly just learned a lot from 64's level design on what not to do. Heck, a ton of stages even have actual shortcuts and secret passages. Those rocked to find as a kid.
Just like in Super Mario Sunshine, where you can actually see how different worlds connect if you look off in the distance, it's the same thing here, where you can see a lot of references to past stages or other stages you've raced on. In terms of gameplay and mechanics, this game is far above anything before it.
Wow,
Well, go figure. Somebody desperately needing some Mario Kart love.
No matter which kart you're driving, the physics of the kart in this game feel... It feels... Get this. It feels like you're actually driving a cart. The drifting in this game is way better than its predecessors. Rubber Band AI is improved, items are far more balanced, shell physics make them dangerous but not annoyingly unfair. Recovery from faults is an improvement as it sets you back, but it's not like this garbage. And this game just feels way more legit.
How's it for Heartbreak?
Please end me and my misery.
Jesus loves you, Nintendo 64.
Here we go.
Graphically and aesthetically, this game is a no-brainer compared to 64. In fact, Double Dash is still one of the nicest looking games for the GameCube today. It's held up very well, and it's still good looking, just like Jennifer Aniston or Angelina Jolie.
So we broke up with Brad Paisley?
You mean Brad Pitt?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Everything is nice and vibrant. There's actually really great effects throughout, like heat waves in the desert, for instance. The lighting is nice. I mean, there's even lens distortion stuff going on. Everything looks smooth and clear and crisp. And about the music, whatever horn samples they use, while comical, they still sound pretty darn good today. It's still fun to listen to. I mean, there's a possible chance I jammed this in my car sometimes.
What are you doing in my room?
Oh.
We should probably get out.
We should probably.
So in conclusion,
But I'm pretty sure they know how you feel about this one.
this game is god tier.
Stop, Garrett. He can only take so much of my poundage.
GameCube is 2018 and you are still using that word.
In my opinion, honestly, this game might feel the most polished of any Mario Kart. Texture filtering is super hard to notice, there's no noticeable polygon changes, draw distance is basically non-existent. The game runs at 60 FPS pretty much the whole time. It's an incredibly smooth, visual appealing, immersive, and most importantly, fun gameplay experience. It just feels like a breath of fresh air after being stuck in that party full of 30-somethings who won't let go of the past and keep smoking.
Right here, you know.
Shut up, you're done. In conclusion, Double Dash has just held up far better than its predecessors.
Hundreds of spankings, groundings, and a new addition to the family later, my stupid elementary graduate butt was the little fish in the big pond again. I was with the big boys. The middle schoolers. And being a fresh tween junior hire, I was required to do something very intense to prove my worth as I had to do the science fair.
The big yellow one is a star. The one in the middle is the one that they call a star.
After doing some extensive Google research, I had a game plan. A literal game plan.
I was gonna do a study on distracted driving and how using your phone on the road makes you a worse and more dangerous driver.
Of course, me and my friends weren't exactly the age to drive, so what did we use? Mario Kart Wii.
Suddenly, the science fair was the best part of my school year because I had a new laptop to edit a video Chase and I did for the experiment with good old iMovie, and freaking Mario Kart Wii as the primary device used for the experiment. End result?
I got second place to a person whose father was a judge, So
Mario Kart Wii was undoubtedly a large part of my middle school years. When my cousin Chase got the game brand new in 2008 and I played it, I was both frustrated and intrigued by the Wii wheel concept, which in some ways made the gameplay more immersive. Listen, we all fell for it, okay? The Wii as a whole was a very captivating and jaw-dropping deal for me for its first few years. And Mario Kart Wii at the time was an extension of this feeling. Sure, I knew online gaming was a thing for a long time, but now I can play Mario Kart with my friends a few blocks down the street. Mario Kart Wii was probably my first real online gaming experience, and it was fantastic. I put countless hours into this game in its online mode, but we all know what we're actually here for.
Oh, let me guess, not you wasting 5 minutes talking about what it's like to be a 12-year-old with 2/3 of his brain being completely non-functional.
Wow, it's almost like that's what he's supposed to be doing.
Dude, have you ever heard of Paddy? The guy needs to be able to run 20 ads on this to get the hot $5 from YouTube.
So what's new this time around? Bikes. You can do tricks. Oh, also you can race on courses from older games. There you go. That's all. You want more? No, that's it. That's all. That's all. The game also added in new items and characters, all of which I personally think are pointless and actually worsen the gameplay. And yes, I just said that. Who's gonna get zapped? Oh no, who's go- Oh, it's me! It's a great item! The addition of pulling off tricks as simple as they are is actually a lot of fun, though. It makes the gameplay feel a bit more exhilarating, and there's something kind of satisfying about it. Yeah, get a load of this, Shaun White.
Battle mode is a little underwhelming. It's not comparable to Double Dash.
Remember this? Now you can do this!
Okay, it was still fun, particularly in online matches.
The stages and mode was built around a full 12 players in a game, and while I prefer the local 4-player more, 12 players, especially online, is pretty entertaining. But a lot of the hilarious chaotic potential with 12 players on a battle map was lost, unfortunately, and they wouldn't really get it right for another 9 years. Controlling carts and bikes is solid, though certainly simplified compared to the pro gamer tech of Double Dash. Bikes added some variety that keeps the game interesting now, though it clearly has an advantage over carts that kind of makes them the only viable option, making for an unbalanced game. And your stupid little go-kart do this? No. Get 4th place, you 4th placer. Graphically, what the heck happened here? This game is a downgrade from Double Dash. It's probably the most underwhelming upgrade of any successor in the series. Somehow the game manages to look more fuzzy, look overexposed, overuse the bloom effect, which I just cannot stand, be less saturated, and overall just look more washed out than its home console predecessor. Double Dash was already pretty clean and crisp sounding and it's held up well, but Mario Kart Wii also sounds great, with the overall mix and master of the game audio and music being an improvement. And in terms of the music, it's still rockin' 10 years later. Very fun, memorable, incredibly programmed and arranged tunes that I still easily enjoy to this day. And let's not forget Mario Kart Wii's online gameplay. This is such a fun part of the... Yeah, this will be a pretty explicit reminder of how old a game is.
Online was awesome, and I loved it when it was a thing. In fact, a lot of us got so good against the CPU that we really only resorted to online because that was the only place we could play against actually legitimate players. So the fact that the online mode has been shut off means we're never gonna really be able to play against 11 other real players again, and that kind of turns off some of the entertainment and fun and challenging portion of the game.
Remember this? They used to do a whole bunch of tournaments and challenges and all sorts of cool stuff. Obviously, it's dead too.
So when all this awesome stuff is gone simply because the game is obsolete, it very clearly shows the age of the game. And yeah, that's all I've got for Mario Kart Wii. It's still a great game and a lot of fun to play, but the lack of online, underwhelming battle mode, and somehow worse graphics than Double Dash makes it an aged game of 2008.
Just like Obama.
Your jokes are like an airplane subtly and gradually descending into a mountain.
Well, now that I've gone into detail about each game, we need to figure out which aged the best.
Yeah, man, we definitely have absolutely no clue.
We're gonna compare based on a few key principles: content, gameplay, graphics, music, and design.
Well, Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 are automatically out on this one. Mario Kart Wii has the most cups due to being the first home console installment to include retro cups. On the other hand, Mario Kart Double Dash has more battle modes that are also more exciting, and additionally a co-op mode. Right back at you, Double Dash, because Wii's got at least double the battle stages, including battle stages from the past. In fact, Mario Kart Wii has more battle stages than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe does.
You need to step it up!
We're just not reflecting that enough.
Step it up, it's not okay!
It's not going the whole 9 yards, we're just not going.
Step it!
Mario Kart Wii additionally had the most vehicle and character options, so while in some cases Double Dash may have had the upper hand in content, overall Mario Kart Wii reasonably has the most and takes the W here.
Compared to the newest installment, it's no question that Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 freaking suck.
Did we actually end up winning at anything here?
Don't count on it.
The handling of vehicles and their physics are far better now than they were 20 years ago. Double Dash and Mario Kart Wii undoubtedly have stood the test of time far better.
I don't even know why I'm including Super Mario Kart or Mario Kart 64 anymore.
Actually, to be fair, there's still a charm to Super Mario Kart since it's 2D and pixel art, essentially. But everything looking like paper doesn't really help it out. Mario Kart 64, well... Do I even try? Double Dash, on the other hand...
It's got the Woz put it. Just like how the SNES was kind of the perfection of 2D coming out of the NES days, the GameCube was kind of the perfection of 3D coming out of the Nintendo 64 days.
Double Dash still looks great. Sure, it definitely looks like a GameCube game, but just like Wind Waker or Sunshine, people can look back at it now and still enjoy its aesthetic.
So what if I told you that I can't make the same argument for Mario Kart Wii?
A little sad, huh? Look at this compared to 8 Deluxe. Double Dash takes this one.
When it comes to audio and production quality, Mario Kart Wii takes the lead. Cake takes the cake every time.
Compared to its successor, which is largely full band session recordings, we took the electronic approach, and while heavily synth-based, 10 years hasn't put a wrinkle on Wii's soundtrack. However, while its soundtrack is certainly memorable, I don't feel it has quite the effect that its predecessors or successors had. Double Dash has held up well too. While not on the same league in terms of production and sonic quality, it still holds up incredibly well, not only for a 15-year-old game, but for a GameCube game too. Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart 64 are MIDI-based, which automatically puts age on it.
Okay, but in their defense, they still stand up compositionally incredibly today. It goes without saying, the newer the game, obviously the better the sound quality. That said, Double Dash has still held up very well. You can take a guess how the other two before it fared, though.
I'll just go ahead and unplug myself now.
Okay, but you do get a point for something.
Is it the voiceovers?
It's the voiceovers.
Mario Kart 64 has 100% the best voiceovers. They have the most energy and have just stuck with people for eternity. No one's ever gonna forget these.
So let's look at this and see who got the most points.
Boy, I wonder.
So yeah, despite Mario Kart Wii being the most recent installment in this comparison, I strongly believe Double Dash has held up better and has aged the best of any Mario Kart to date. I hereby decree that Mario Kart Double Dash for the Nintendo GameCube wins the Will Smith Award.
So there you have it. What does the future hold for Mario Kart? Will Mario Kart 8 stand the test of time like these games have?
Will you stop asking generic questions?
This video gave me malware.
This video is sponsored by Displate. Displate is a portal gathering tons of amazing artists, as you can see here, with so many gorgeous posters to choose from. The posters are super high quality, thin metal plates, and easily mount on the wall using magnets, so you can easily adjust how the poster sits without committing yourself to a poor choice like Kim Kardashian marrying Chris Humphries.
What? Huh? I didn't say that.
You can get any Displate 20% off by entering the code GAREART20. Just click the link in the description. I'm also back to live streaming on Twitch, having fun hanging with chat and playing games on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evenings. Never know though, I could be live right now. Here's some of the hot garbage. Here's some of the fun stuff that's already gone down.
That thing won't move it!
Somebody eat this. Haha, it was Gamer Guy.
Do you know that water's wet?
What?
Life is a lie, dude.
This is the dope stage. This one's the dope AF. Never mind, this stage sucks. Click the link in the description to follow me on Twitch and come hang. Sometimes I'm even playing online games with patrons. Patrons get to see tons of stuff from this video early, sneak peeks of any other projects, download my music for free, access to my secret channel on my Discord server that I often hang out in, and their name in the video credits. Not to mention, I've just added a new tier for anyone spending $5 or more. They get their names sung like this. Alex Feist and Retro, they're all cool bros. Simon James, I'm in season. And I apologize for butchering this, but Ryan Messer. Click the link in the description to join the club. Want to hear the full version of the RTTTA intro theme? Well, now you can. Check out What If I'm Hurt Again, my latest single. Be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram, as you'll get tons of updates on my whereabouts and what I'm up to. You can find lots of my other random music on SoundCloud and my second channel. Lastly, check out GC Waves, as we're doing this thing called Conversations now, which is basically the best edited podcast you've never heard of. Be sure to give this video a like and share it around as much as you possibly can. Thanks again for all the support, guys. It really means a lot. Peace!